report, and having presided over the very many and endless sittings in room 9 and elsewhere as we probe and review the various books of accounts for the various ministries, departments, and state agencies. Honorable Speaker, one of the roles bestowed on the National Assembly under the Constitution of Kenya 2010 is to exercise oversight of a national revenue and its expenditure. Consequently, it's the history of parliaments that there must be a public accounts committee that basically does that job. And we have done our bit. As we present today, we are presenting 2021 financial year. Honorable Speaker, I do not need to belabor the point, to overemphasize the point, that again the Constitution of Kenya creates equitable share of revenue between the various levels of government. And Article 203.3, Honorable Speaker, it is the amount referred to in Clause 2 shall be calculated on the basis of the most recent audited accounts of revenue received as approved by the National Assembly. So, Honorable Speaker, as we are here today, once this report is approved by this House, it will therefore mean probably in the financial year 2024-2025, we shall use the most recent audited accounts of 2020-2021 to share revenue between the various levels of government, that is the national government, judiciary, and parliament, as well as the county governments. Honorable Speaker, as our party leader normally tells us, the most respected and sought after committee in the Commonwealth and probably in most places in this country, in this world, is Public Accounts Committee. And he has given nostalgic view when he sat in this parliament and how he was a member of the Public Accounts Committee. And he always advises that you must make sure the executive trembles and fears Parliament through the Public Accounts Committee. Whether we have met that threshold or not is out there for everybody to tell. Honorable Speaker, I sat in the Public Accounts Committee in the last Parliament. I was fortunate enough to sit again in this Parliament, and there are a few observations. Our chair has covered extensively on the issues that we thought we have come across. Allow me, as I second Honorable Speaker, to pick a few of them and probably re-emphasize and reiterate what he has stated here. Number one, Honorable Speaker, it baffles me that an accountant, a fully qualified accountant, cannot keep proper books of accounts. And Honorable Speaker, many times, our chair always thinks I've got something against the accounting profession, but I have never understood how a CPAK with over 15 years of experience cannot undertake book reconciliation, bank reconciliation, cannot prepare management accounts, and cannot ensure all the documents, supporting documents, I don't know they call them ledger, whatever they call them, cannot be available. It leaves me to believe it's willful neglect or it's a very convoluted process to conceal theft, to perpetuate, abet corruption, and the rest of the things. So as I stand here, Honorable Speaker, we must be very careful and we must come hard on individual chief finance officers and chief accountants who falsely prepare accounts. They must be held personally liable, and we must refer the matter to the relevant professional organization to take stern action and probably even deregister them, not allow them to hold professional offices and public offices. Honorable Speaker, one of the most interesting things again, they deliberately refuse or fail to give the auditors from the Office of the Auditor General the documents required. And then when you call them before Public Accounts Committee, That's the time, a few days to, they fumble around, give the Office of the Auditor General, and occasionally you find the Auditor General now come, the Office of the Auditor General again come and say the matter is resolved. The audit is a process. The Audit Act is very clear on the timelines. So anything not provided at the end of the timeline, you have breached the provisions of the Audit Act as well as the Public Finance Management Act. Honorable Speaker, this country is very rich, and this country is capable of running its affairs without having to go outside the country to beg, to look for donors, to look for whatever we look for. This country can run its affairs without having to borrow anywhere, any money. Honorable Speaker, and the chair has clearly stated, if you look at the court cases, the awards given against the government, if you look at the penalties, they are mind-boggling. The amount that we pay through penalties as a result of court cases, delayed payment, can actually run this country for a full financial year without having to go and ask for money elsewhere. And Honorable Speaker, this actually is by design. They delay to pay deliberately and tell the contractors, when nyamazia tu hapo, enda kotini, we'll sort out the matter and you give our cut. They negotiate contracts knowing they have no money, award knowing they have no money. In the same vein, Honorable Speaker, the chair has mentioned the issue of unwarranted budget cuts and a supplementary 1, supplementary 2, supplementary 10, whatever the case it might be. It does not make sense to undertake a budgetary cut where a bill has already been incurred, the works are in progress, and then you tell them the budgetary cuts and the works have already been committed, procurement is already in place, the contractors on site. Honorable Speaker, we are punishing Kenyans. I remember last year, there was a contractor who stripped naked in Kisumu, in one of the Kisumu offices, government offices. And Honorable Speaker, within 3 months, he was dead. He was either buried in Ugenyo or Bond, one of the two, because the daughter is married to my constituency. You can see the amount of stress we are taking through these people. The other day, Honorable Speaker, you find that our training institution has taken foodstuffs from Mamamboga, the hustlers, the small business people. Since 2021, since 2019, a bill of 20,000, 30,000, 300,000. No plans to pay at all. Is pending bill, and the pending bill is a first charge. But they will tell you, yes, we brought us a first charge, but when we are planning to pay, we were told to do budget rationalization, so we could not pay. It is a wasteful system. It's a system that, Honorable Speaker, as a country, we need to relook at. We are living beyond our means, and consequently, there is wasteful use of resources, which we must stem immediately. And we call upon all the teams, all the oversight committees, be it the PIC, PAC, and all the oversight committees, to come very hard on the issue of pending bills, delayed payment, and the rest of the things. Honorable Speaker, we have seen very interesting matter, and it goes around procurement and construction works. The Public Procurement and the Asset Disposal Act requires that variation should not exceed 25%. That's what the law says. That's what the regulation says. What technocrats in the ministries and MDS have been doing, circumvent the process, have variations of 24.96%. The stadiums that were being built in 2020, 2021, Honorable Speaker, were subject to that kind of an arrangement. You find 24.96%, 24.36%, and those kind of things. I can see my time is up. I don't know if you can add more minutes so that I conclude. Honorable Speaker, finally, as I conclude, there is lack of capacity, or is deliberate, that there is no monitoring of implementation of the projects.
It's second that can conclude and second.
I will give you an example. It was alleged they went to restock various fish ponds in Kenya as part of the aquaculture process. Honorable Speaker, one of the places they said they had stocked with fingerlings was at fish pond in my constituency. When I saw the report, went to the constituency, the manager told me he has never seen people from Ministry of Livestock for almost 7 years. Yet what report they had given the accounting officer that they'd stocked. So, Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, as I second, we need to be vigilant and save this country from wanton laws and wastage of public funds are designed for corruption purposes. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I've already second. I second, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable members, I now propose the question that this House adopts the report of the Public Accounts Committee on its examination of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the national government ministries, departments, and agencies for the financial year 2020-2021, laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 30th November 2023.